There are times when we feel like we are just going through it and are being singled out for attack. The pressure is like a flood, and each bad thing seems to be coming like a wave. Have you ever seen a flood and the devastation it carries, and it leaves? Life can feel like this sometimes, and it just feels like you're drowning. Psalm 69:15 says, "May the flood of water not overflow me, nor the deep swallow me up, nor the pit shut its mouth on me." This means that whatever the enemy may throw against you, God will give you the power to overcome it. You shall receive power from the Holy Spirit. To Timothy 1:7, "For God hath not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind." 1 John 4:2, "For greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world." God will give you the strength that you need to get through your challenges. When the enemy comes in like a flood, sometimes life can be extremely difficult and tough, and the truth is Christians are not exempt from the challenges of life. I would even go as far as saying that Christians have even more challenges than unbelievers, because Christians have to fight the flesh and the devil also. I'm speaking to people right now who are going through challenging times. We are all going through a difficult time. The strange thing is, the whole world has been going through a difficult time. There is a looming uncertainty of how everything will pan out. We watch the news looking for some good news, and yet somehow we keep hearing the same things. Life has knocked you down. Life is ruthless. It really can be ruthless. It can dish you out some backstabbing things when you haven't done anything and you are innocent. Now you are in a hole, struggling with the feeling of being trapped down there, with no help in sight, and pain is all you can feel. But in the midst of all these attacks from life and the enemy, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to remain where life has dumped you. You have to pick yourself up. I know it's hard. That when the enemy launches at you and strikes everything hell has to offer and you reach rock bottom, let this truth encourage you. Understand that you have a comeback power. So many times when we are badly hit by events that cause a major setback in our life, we are faced with two options. Firstly, to pick yourself up and continue your journey even if you have to crawl or lay low, and continue to pander to your pains further. But most people choose the latter because it's quite the easier option, or because they are scared of being hit again. But not you. Not you. Revelations 21:7, "He who overcomes shall inherit all things. I will be his God, and he shall be my son." Overcomers are children of God. As believers, we need to know that our God does not encourage giving up. God has given you the power to never bend or fold in whatever situation you may face. How? You may ask. 1 John 4:2 says, "You are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world." The Holy Spirit has the power to give to you, so that you can come back from insurmountable odds. Those that yield to the Holy Spirit, they are the ones that understand that they have a comeback power, the ones who understand that they have the inner power to withstand chaos and instability. An example of a biblical figure that God gave a greater comeback after going through a really hard time and suffering loss is Job. Job 1:14-19, and the messenger came to Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the donkeys feeding beside them, when the Sabaeans raided them and took them away. Indeed they have killed the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you. While he was speaking, another also came and said, the fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them, and I alone have escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, the Chaldeans formed 3 bands, raided the camels and took them away. Yes, and killed the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone escaped to tell you. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house, and suddenly a great wind came from across the wilderness and struck the 4 corners of the house, and it fell on the young people, and they are dead, and I alone have escaped to tell you. I have heard of people having a bad day, but not quite as bad a day as Job. The tragedy and calamity that befell Job in just one day is too enormous to imagine. It's like seeing your own years of hard work burned down to ashes in your very own eyes while you just stand and watch helplessly. And some people have seen similar things. They poured years and years, hours and hours into their business, and they had to stop through no fault of their own. One would have expected Job to curse God or tell him how unjust he is, but Job did not do any of that. Rather, in the last verse, the Bible recorded that in all this Job sinned not nor charged God foolishly. Job 1:22. At some point in your life, you will go through unpleasant situations that will cause you pain and weigh you down, but you should learn that they are not who you are or what defines your call. Learn to stop romanticizing and personalizing the problems in your life. Rather, choose to fight your way to freedom and let God be the author and finisher of your faith.